Hi, everyone. Let's find a second measure of center for these 100 test scores. Let's say that you had 5 minutes to find a measure of center, but you didn't have a calculator or computer. Then what could you do first? It might take some time to do by hand, but what might you do first with these 100 data values? And then which data value would you pick? Or another way to look at this, wouldn't it be great if a computer, a basic computer, could do what with these data values first? How about sort them from lowest to highest? And then find the middle value in the sorted list. That's called finding the median. Kind of like how you have a median in the middle of the highway, right? The median. Assume that we have a population data set of size capital N. We can also talk about sample data. But let's assume we have a population data set of size capital N. If capital N is odd, say 5, like in our example 1, then the median is the data value in the middle position, after sorting the data. You have to sort the data first. So in these 5 test scores here, you don't just grab the 100 points just because it's physically in the middle now, all right? You have to sort the data first in increasing or decreasing order. Now, ties are permitted. So technically, instead of increasing, we should say non-decreasing. And instead of decreasing, we should technically say non-increasing. But I think these words are kind of confusing to people. So instead, we'll just say sort the data in either increasing or decreasing order and just allow for ties. Okay, so in example 1, we had 5 test scores. 80, 76, 100, 83, and 100 in points. Now, what's the median? Again, don't just grab the 100 just because it's in the middle now. You first have to do what? You first have to sort or order the 5 data values. Normally, we do it in basically increasing order, although we could also do it in decreasing order. But remember, you have to sort first. So let's start with the lowest score, which is 76 points. Then the next lowest score is 80 points. And then the next lowest score is 83 points. Now, if you recognize that the median is going to be the 3rd lowest score, then we can stop here. Later on, we'll talk about the median position number, which will tell you which score you need. In this case, we need the 3rd least score, the 3rd lowest score. How do you know which score you need? But once you know that 83 is the 3rd lowest score, then you're done. It's true that the 4th lowest score is 100, and the 5th lowest score is actually the highest score. It's also 100. All right. Now, after you've sorted the data values, now you can grab the physically middle value, which is 83 points. Don't forget your unit. And it makes sense that 83 points is a central or representative value. It's reasonable to tell that to the class. Overall for the class, 83 points. That's like an overall score for the class, a central or representative value. Now here's one characteristic for the median. Okay, observe that the median has the characteristic that we have 2 values below it. We have 2 values below the 83 points, and we have 2 values above it. We have 2 values above the 83 points. So observe that there are as many data values below the median as above. In this case, we have 2 values below the 83 points and 2 values above the 83 points. Bear in mind that ties are okay. If the median is tied with other scores, then this might not be the case. So for example, if instead of 100, we had 83 points over here, then technically we wouldn't have 2 values above the 83 points. We could say that we have 2 values that are at least as high as 83 points over here, but basically ties are okay. So if we have ties, don't be bothered by that. All right. Now, we run into an issue if n is even. For example, 4. If n is even, then the median is going to be the average of, or the midpoint between the two data values in the 2 middle positions. Again, after sorting the data. I must stress, this is done after sorting the data. So let's say that we have 4 test scores. capital N is 4, N is even. So let's say we lop off the 100. Let's say I find out that this person cheated. Ooh, bad student. That's the only time that I have a bad student, when a student cheats. So let's say I eliminate 100 from the data set. First, I must say that I'm doing that. I must report that I'm eliminating that data point. Don't just throw out data because you feel like it. So I'm telling you, I'm eliminating the 100 because of cheating. So we're down to these 4 data points. All right, we sort them again from lowest to highest. We have 76, 80, 83, and 100. The problem with finding the median here is that we have 2 data values in the middle, the 80 points and the 83 points. So what do? We take the midpoint, the average between these 2 middle values. The 2 middle values are 80 and 83 points, so we take their average, kind of like their midpoint. How do we take the average of these 2 values? How do you average 2 numbers? You add them up and divide by 2. So we add the 80 and the 83, process the sum before you divide by 2. We take the sum, divide by 2, and we get 81.5 points. Don't forget your unit. So the median is 81.5 points, which again is a reasonable measure of center. Notice it's a little bit different from the 83 points we got up here. Why is the median a little bit lower? And this is going to lead up to something we're going to talk about later on. How come the median shrank? It's down to 81.5 points. The reason is we busted a student for cheating. The 100 here, up here, was eliminated, which had the impact of lowering the median. And also the mean, by the way. All right. Now, how do we know which data value to stop at? So once we've sorted a big old list, how do we know when to start? How do we know that we're done once we get the 3rd lowest value, which is also, by the way, the 3rd highest value? Well, we can find the median position number, the median position number. Now, before I go on to that, yes, on Excel, you can do this in a very straightforward manner. Equals median. I can scan my mouse over these. We get B2 through B6. We get 83, and then put points. Okay, that verifies what we had before. Yes, the median was 83 points. So if you have Excel, yes, you can find the median. Remember that you put an equal sign to start off the command. Okay. Now, well, let's say we have our presidents. All right. Again, we can find the median for the presidents. Going from B2 to B46. All right. Oh, it turns out that the median matches the mean, 55 points. Which, if you look at the list of presidents' ages, that seems to make sense. Whether you take the mean or the median, you get 55. Not points, 55 years. You get 55 years, okay? 55 seems to be a reasonable measure of center if you look at the 45 ages here. But let's say that we have a sorted list and we want to know which value to pick. So let's say that the median command is busted, all right? Well, first, you have to remember to sort the values. And while we're at it, let's sort the corresponding name while we're at it. So we need to sort these by age. So I'm going to sweep over these 2 columns, right? And I'm going to sort both these columns according to age. Let's go from smallest to largest. We're going to go in increasing, or technically non-decreasing order. And there we go. And by shading in both columns of data, I am carrying the name along with the age. So we go from the youngest president, Teddy Roosevelt, at 42, over to the oldest, Trump, at 70. Okay, Joe Biden is trying to beat Trump over here at the higher end, all right? So we have to sort the data first. Now, let's say that we forgot the median function, or it doesn't work in our Excel software. Which president do we want in this list? Okay, which row do we want? Well, first of all, we might want to delete row number 1, which has the headers. That could confuse us. So let's delete the row of headers. Delete the row of headers. row number 1. All right. What's the median position number? Okay, it's the row number of the median value. Okay, so if we have 100 data values, which one do we want? Okay, n is 45 here. Okay, we have 45 values here. Okay, 45 plus 1 over 2. All right. Well, okay, so it's going to be, I'll put the equal sign in front. 45 plus 1 over 2. Well, 46 divided by 2 is 23. We have 45 data values here. The median position number is given by this formula. N plus 1 all over 2. 45 plus 1 is 46. Divide that by 2, you get 23. Which means that we go to row number 23. Row number 23, Benjamin Harrison, who was, lo and behold, 55 years old. That's why Excel picked 55 years as the median, because Benjamin Harrison, who was the 23rd youngest president, was 55 years old. Bear in mind, there are ties, but that's okay. Ties are okay. All right, including the man he beat. Including the man he beat and who beat him, Grover Cleveland. All right. So how do we find that median position number? Again, it's given by this formula. The median position number, which row in the Excel sheet do I want after I delete any header rows, like row number 1? The position number of the median in a sorted list of n quantitative data values is given by this formula. N plus 1 all divided by 2. So for the 45 presidents, 45 plus 1 is 46, and then 46 divided by 2 is 23. I wanted row 23 after I deleted the header row. All right. Now if n equals 5, as in our first example, the median position number is, well, 5 plus 1 is 6. Divide 6 by 2, and you get 3. So that means that after you've sorted the values, remember you have to sort first. After you've sorted the values, we get the median as our third lowest value. So if you know the lowest value, the second lowest value, and then once you find the third lowest value, you know that's the median. You don't have to worry about sorting the rest. The remaining values were both hundreds anyway. Now, what if n equals 4? All right. Well, then the median position number is given by 4 plus 1, which is 5, and then divide 5 by 2, you get 2.5. Now, there's no row 2.5 in an Excel spreadsheet. But what this means is that you take the average of the second and third lowest numbers. So in an Excel spreadsheet, once you've deleted the header row, you would average, and after you've sorted the values with any names or whatever, then you want the average of the entries in row 2 and row 3. So in this case here, the second lowest score was 80 points. The third lowest score was 83 points. So the median is the average of these. It's like position 2.5 in a way. The median is 81.5 points. In a way, it's in position 2.5. There are some books that say that the median can be any value between 80 and 83, but we're going to do the more conventional route. We're going to take the average between the two values, 81.5 points. All right, now let's say that we have 99 data values. Whoops. Let's say we have 99 data values. Imagine a big Excel spreadsheet. Let's say we have 99 data values. The median position number is given by 99 plus 1, which is 100, and then you take that, divide by 2, and you get 50. So if your Excel spreadsheet goes from row 1 to row 99, and you don't have any headers, right, then you want the entry in position 50, row number 50, after you've done what? After you've done sorting. So after a sort, okay? Either from lowest to highest or highest to lowest. By convention, we normally go lowest to highest, all right? You want the 50th lowest value, which will also be the 50th highest value. So the median is both the 50th lowest and the 50th highest number in the list. Okay, the median would be in position number 50. You will have 49 numbers below it. Ties are allowed, however, and you would have 49 numbers above it. Although, again, ties are allowed. So you could have ties around here, for example, and that's okay. All right. Median, including the median position number, which will tell you which lowest value do you need, which is the same as which highest value do you need. In this case, if you have 99 data values, you want the 50th lowest or the 50th highest value. Okay, it's whatever number is in row number 50 in the Excel spreadsheet. If you, again, sort first, remember this is after sorting, and if you delete, you have to delete any header rows, like our row number 1 was. All right. We'll look at some more measures of center, or I should say representative measures of center, later.